What's poppin', gangsters? So I'm currently here at the pool, as you can see. And today I've been doing a lot of introspecting, a lot of kind of just looking within myself. And I realized that I've still been harboring a lot of guilt and shame for actions that I took and for believing that I was someone that I wasn't because of the actions I took. And today I've really been served with the lesson of forgiving myself. Growing up, I told a lot of lies. And maybe around February or March, I just got so fucking tired of being a mask. The thing is, when you're telling lies all the time, you can't even be yourself. Lies create a completely different person that is separate from your true self. And so if you're constantly feeding into lies, if you're constantly upholding lies, if you're constantly harboring lies, you're aligning more and more with this version and less with the authentic, truest version. And the thing is, your most authentic and true version of yourself is going to be the version of yourself that has the reality you want, that can fulfill your desires, that has the love, that has the partner, has the money, has everything that your heart desires. The thing is, God wants to give you every single thing that you desire. But that can only happen if you're actually in alignment with how God intended for you to have those, which is being your truest and most authentic self. And so if you're not aligned with your authenticity, if you're not really being you, how can you have everything you've always wanted and desired? Growing up, I stole a lot from my grandparents when it came to like stealing money from them, like taking their credit cards so I could buy video games and shit. Honestly, it's probably around $1,000. From 17 to 19, so my junior year, about halfway through junior year of high school, throughout that until last summer, I would go into my grandparents' liquor cabinet and I drink their alcohol. And recently, I'd ever since I moved down to Georgia with my dad, I'd been clearing out the bottles that my dad and my stepmom had at their bar. And me and I don't really have a thing for alcohol. Alcohol is just eh. But I see that what it really is me trying to control something. And I really only reached for alcohol if I couldn't smoke weed. So if I couldn't get high, I'd want to get drunk, right? I wanted to feel like I had some semblance of control over this reality, because I felt like the pit I was in of sadness or depression, anxiety, wherever I was at, I just wanted to not be there, and I didn't know how to not be there besides escapism. Video games, drugs, porn, alcohol, women, food, content, done them all. And all of these things were merely me trying to control something because I felt like I had no control over my reality, no control over my state of mind, over what I could actually do in my reality. I didn't feel like I could be the creator of my reality because I didn't feel good enough. And because I didn't feel good enough, because I believed I wasn't good enough, because I thought those things, I constantly projected that into my reality and kept creating and manifesting that. There is a ancient principle taught by the yogis, taught by the Buddhists, taught by the Tao. Every single thing in your life, every single thing in this external reality is a reflection of your internal reality. It's called the mirror principle. Every single thing in your internal is reflected to create your external. What is in here creates your circumstances. It creates your relationships. It creates your business, your content, your art. Any way that you express yourself, any way that life shows you what, like that life reflects your state of consciousness, every single way that happens in this reality is because of this. It's because of you. And I've recently seen this a lot in my business. I signed 8 clients in 58 days from from May 15th to July 13th. And in another about 2 months, from July 13th to August 9th, I lost, timer went off. I got a coaching call in 10 minutes, so I lost 6 of them, right? And so I went from 8 clients to 2 in another 2 months. From 0 to 8 in 2 months, and in another 2 months, 8 to 2. The thing is, it was because I'd gotten to a point where I felt like I didn't actually deserve what I had. And so because I actually believed that, I started manifesting that in my reality. I started self-sabotaging again. I started smoking weed again. I started drinking here and there as well when I couldn't get high. I started lying again, even though I didn't want to. And so because I was holding on to this former version of myself, I was holding on to these negative thought patterns, I was holding on to these beliefs, I wasn't allowing myself to have room for the other things to come in. You can't make room for abundance. You can't have the room to receive abundance if you're holding on to lack. If you're holding on to the past, there's no room for the future. There's no room for bigger and better if you don't make room, if you don't clear out the smaller bullshit. And so today I realized that I need to forgive myself. And I saw that a good vehicle for me to do that was to make amends. It was to talk to my grandparents, talk to my mom, talk to my sister, talk to my aunt, all people who I've lied to in terms of getting money from them so I can go get high. And I talked to my mom. I called her up. She was the first person I called, and she didn't answer, and I was like, fuck. All right. So I tried to call my grandmother. She didn't answer. I was like, fuck. And then my mom called me back. I tried to call my grandfather, and then after that, he didn't answer. I was like, fuck, they must be out somewhere. So my mom hit me back, and I talked to her about it, and it was this big, very freeing, it definitely felt like a weight off my shoulders. And my great-great-grandmother as well, I tried to call her up, but she didn't answer, so I was like, dang, she must be out with mama and papa. All right, got to take that on the chin. And so I was like, okay, how about I send texts? So I knew I wanted to text my sister. My sister's usually busy around this time, so I just sent her a text, and I was like, hey, just get back to me when you can. But I sent that to my sister. I tried to call my aunt. She's at work, so I'm like, fuck. So I sent her the text as well, but I sent it to my grandparents, and I haven't talked to them yet, had any conversations with anybody besides my mom. But my grandfather got back to me. He said that they were taking a family member out to dinner for their birthday. So they were going to get back to me when they got done with that. My aunt said she'd get back to me when she got off work around 8. But my aunt just, her message really was very, touching for me. She said, she said, I love you, and don't be so hard on yourself. We all, I appreciate you for, addressing this and, for owning up to these mistakes. This is just a part of life, right? And we love you unconditionally. And that just meant so much for me, because I really feel like I've been getting tested, and for a while I was failing these tests. I'm not gonna lie to you. This has been manifesting in my relationship with Erin. Yesterday I got high, and I really wanted to tell her, honestly. I really wanted to talk to her about it, but I had this just fear of judgment, of her not believing in me, and like wanting to like not be with me anymore. And I feel like this these circumstances that I've been in terms of having to address these difficult things and like own up to them, really own up to the consequences of my actions, I feel like this has been a test for if I'm willing to be vulnerable and authentic with the people closest to me, even if it hurts me, even if it hurts them, even if it's something I'm not proud of. Am I willing to do that anyway? And for a long time, I wasn't. I wanted to just stay hiding. I wanted to stay in the dark. I wanted to stay with the walls up. But if the walls are up, yeah, you don't have to, let things out. That's fine. But nothing can come in. And so, because I refuse for my walls to be up anymore, because I refuse to not let things in, I must also let things out. And so I have to let go of me harboring this like guilt and shame that I had for these actions that I'd done, for stealing, for lying to my family. And now that I've conquered that and I've seen that in myself, I'm like, okay, this is the way. I see that I am not a liar. I've just told lies in the past. I see that I'm not a thief. I've just stolen things in the past. I'm not a manipulator. I've manipulated people though. I am not my actions. And you are not your actions either. And so, if you want to open your heart, if you want to be more open so you can receive love, receive the truest version of yourself that you already are, but it's hard to really embody, if you want to be open to that, you need to, one, get open. You need to let the walls down. And when the walls are down, you need to surrender to the feelings, to the intuitions that God is pointing you towards, right? Once I decided last night that I'm like, I want to be open, I want to conquer this, like I'm done with this. Now I'm like, okay, I have to definitely talk to these people. I have to make amends with these people in my life. And I've known this for months, honestly. I've known this for months. But now it's like, I can't keep ignoring this intuition. I can't keep ignoring this guidance. Every single time you ask God for something, you ask the universe for something, you try to manifest something. Every time you try to use the law of attraction, this is what's going to happen. You're going to have your desire that you want to attract. But the thing is, like I told you guys earlier, the mirror principle. You can only attract what you are. You can only have something manifested in this external reality if it's already in your internal reality. And so, if you're not currently able to attract something, that's because you aren't a match for it yet. And so if you want to attract this thing, God has to send you lessons. God has to serve you up lessons so you can learn them, so you can heal, and then raise your frequency to get to the level where you can attract that. And so if you want to attract this thing, if you want to live a more desirable life, if you want to live a better life, a more authentic life, a more abundant life, whatever it is that you want, it starts right here. It starts with the inner work. It starts with the healing. It really starts with forgiveness. Whether you're harboring something like something for someone else, which I was with my parents and my grandmother, but now it's been reflected on the other side of the coin. I was harboring stuff for them, and I've let that go. But I was still harboring things about myself, and I was still creating this reality. And now that I'm no longer holding on to those things, one, I just feel way lighter in my body. Feels pretty good. But I also know that I'm going to start really attracting the things that this version of myself, the most authentic version of myself, wants and desires. I gotta go soon, guys. I got a coaching call in about a minute and a half. I really appreciate you staying and hearing out this message. If it's touched your heart, I'd appreciate if you drop a comment and let me know how. Please like and share. Let's keep growing up our spiritual tribe. All the love and support means a lot to me, guys. If you're interested in overcoming your limiting beliefs, right? Shattering your limiting beliefs, That was my other timer. If you're interested in shattering your limiting beliefs, getting an empowered mindset so you can start manifesting the life that you truly know that you deserve to have, that God wants you to have, if that sounds interesting to you, I'd love for you to come join me in my 8-week abundance mindset intensive. That's my 8-week coaching program where every single week we're going to be coming together, talking on calls, so I can help you identify where your limiting beliefs are, help you shatter those, and give you actionable steps to do that work on your own so you can start creating that reality that you want to create. If that sounds interesting to you guys, that's in the description. I'd love to see you there. Do it today, be better for it tomorrow. Oh no, wait, no. It's do it today, be better for it tomorrow. Stay blessed, stay loving. I'll catch you on next vid. Dubs out.